Hello, my fellow viewers. I am Anisha Chakrabarti, and I am going to present this vlog on the research paper titled The Importance of Information Security in Travel Enterprises, the Kusadasi Case. So, this is the table of contents. First, we'll start with the introduction, the literature review, research method, and the results and conclusion. So, let's start off with the introduction. So, this paper was published in the Journal of Tourism and Gastronomy Studies with the ISSN code 2147-8775. It was received in 2020 year in 24th of February and got accepted on 26th March of 2020. The authors are Kamil Yakci, Suraya Aksay, and Mahmoud Effendi. So, what is this research article actually about? So, in the 20th first century, the widespread use of information technologies by individuals, companies, institutions, and all segments of the state requires development of effective policies regarding security. So, with the increase in the use of information technologies, problems about the security of these technologies have become extremely significant. So, together with the fact that providing information and using information technologies is a necessity of the enterprises and workplaces, they need to rely on this information that they obtain. So, the number of internet users worldwide is more than 4 billion today. So, as the number of internet users is increasing gradually day by day, the works and operations carried out by the world populations take a wide place in the digital environment, and therefore it is required that the enterprises also perform on the internet. So, the objective of this study is to understand the views of the executives of travel enterprises that are within the scope of tourism and basically um, these tourism enterprises regarding the information security and what efforts are made for the information security of these enterprises. So it is acknowledged in line with the study conducted for the purpose that the executives of the travel enterprises are worried about the security of their information but do not use international information security systems even though they make great effort to ensure that the information they have obtained in their enterprises do not get into the hands of others. So, the rapid changes in the information technologies during the 1950s made computers an indispensable part of human life. So, development of the internet and the growth of the internet use in the entire world had a significant impact on the traditional sale of tourism and travel services, just as in other industries. And thus, in these industries, these products have reached significant sales rates over in the internet. So, in the tourism today, like in this industry now, which is a remarkable part of the global trade, the internet has been used for many different purposes for a long time. For example, websites are generally used in social communications performed through the internet. These websites are called social networking websites. Through information technologies, travel enterprises increase their efficiency and productivity and find opportunities to develop many innovative strategies except from traditional marketing methods. Famous authors Lin and Fu determined that the necessary criteria for consumers' adoption of internet based sales that the travel agencies perform for the purpose of acquiring a competitive advantage by using information technologies are the content of the product information and the security of the e-trade system. This research paper is aimed to determine the awareness of travel agency executives based on Kusadasi region regarding the security of information and what kind of tasks and operations they carry out in order to keep the information secure. As an additional note, Kusadasi is a resort town. It is located in the Aegon region. It's in Turkey. It is a coastal region. So it is a popular tourist destination known for its beaches, historical sites, and vibrant nightlife. So let us proceed with the literature review. So first off, let's again recap. The name was The Importance of Information Security in Travel Enterprises Kusadasi Case. It was published in the year 2020 and it was published in the journal called Journal of Tourism and Gastronomy Studies. The authors were Kamil Yakci, Suraya Aksay, and Mahmoud Effendi. So, this article is a research study on the views of travel agency executives regarding information security in Kusadasi, Turkey. So, the study used qualitative research methods to collect and analyze data from 12 travel agency owners or executives. So the findings revealed that all participants had knowledge of information security and the majority had taken institutional measures to protect their information. So the executives expressed concerns about negative developments in information security, such as data theft and misuse, and emphasized the importance of strong technical infrastructure and user training. So, the study suggests that future research should focus on the effects of information sharing in the tourism industry and the views of low level employees on information security. So, this study discusses the importance of information security in the context of the widespread use of information technologies in the tourism industry. So this paper cites Creswell into the paper which was published in 2016 to explain the purpose of exploratory research and qualitative research. It also references Denson and Lincoln, which they published in 1998, to define qualitative research as investigating a subject or event in its natural environment to determine and interpret the meanings that the researched individual has structured in their mind about these situations. So, additionally, the document also cites several studies related to information security and tourism, such as Yildiz in 2015 on the impact of information technology on tourism, marketing and distribution systems, and Buhalis, his paper in 1998 on the strategic use of information in the tourism industry. While there is not a dedicated section labeled as a literature review in this paper, it does incorporate relevant studies and research to support its arguments and findings. So let's move on to the key advantages of this paper. First, it addresses the importance of information security in the tourism industry, specifically in travel agencies that use information and communication technologies in their activities. It also provides insights into the views of travel agency executives regarding information security in Kusadasi, Turkey. Second, it emphasizes the need for effective policies and measures to protect information in digital settings, given the potential risk and threats associated with information sharing over the internet. So, it also highlights the benefits of using information technologies in travel agencies, such as increased efficiency and productivity, and the development of innovative strategies. Third, it highlights the concerns of executives about negative developments in the information security, as discussed before during the summary, such as data theft and misuse, and it emphasizes the importance of strong technical infrastructure as well as user training. So, overall, the paper provides valuable insights into the importance of information security in the tourism industry and highlights the need of effective policies and measures to protect information in digital settings. The use of qualitative research methods and the focus on the views of travel agency executives in Kusadasi, Turkey, provided a unique perspective on the subject. So the study's findings can be used to inform future research and policy decisions related to information security in the tourism industry, basically. So now let's move on to the gaps and challenges of this paper. If there are advantages, there are bound to be some disadvantages too. So the paper discusses various gaps and challenges related to the information security in the context of tourism industry, as well as all the methodologies that they have used, how they've proceeded with the research as well. Some of the challenges mentioned include: first, the sample size. The study used a small sample size of 12 travel agency executives from Kusadasi. While purposeful sampling was used to select the sample, the small sample size may limit the generalizability of the findings. Second gap. The second gap is on the limited scope. The study focused only on the views of the travel agency executives regarding the information security. So the study did not include the views of the low level employees or even the customers who could provide additional insights into the challenges and gaps related to the information security in the travel agency industry. Because after all, it is the customers who are giving the money, who are actually running this economic industry. The third gap talks about the lack of comparison. The study did not compare the views of travel agency executives in Kusadasi with those of executives in other regions or countries. For example, the travel agencies of Turkey may have different requirements to that of Japan. They have different cultures, tourists have different demands. So, a comparison could provide a broader perspective on the challenges and gaps related to the information security in the travel agency industry. Then the fourth limitation is the limited data collection methods. The study used only observation first and second face-to-face interviews to collect the data. The use of additional data collection methods such as surveys or focus groups could provide more comprehensive understanding of the views of travel agency executives. So, additionally, this paper actually emphasizes the importance of raising awareness about the information security, providing training for information technology users, and increasing the academic studies on the subject. So, now we talked about the gaps and challenges, but how exactly do we overcome them? So, to overcome the key gaps which we identified in this paper, the following steps can be taken for each gap. So, starting off with the first gap, which was sample size. The future studies could use a larger sample size to increase the generalizability of the findings. A larger sample size could also provide a more comprehensive understanding of the views of travel agency executives regarding the information security. To overcome the limited scope, future studies could include views of the low level employees or customers, even to provide additional insights into the challenges and gaps related to the information security in the travel agency industry. Including a broader range of participants could also increase the validity as well as the reliability of the findings. To overcome the lack of comparison, which was a third gap, the future studies, all the future research could compare the views of travel agency executives in other regions or countries. So, a comparison could provide a broader perspective on the challenges and gaps related to the information security in the travel agency industry. To overcome the fourth limitation, which was the limited data collection methods, the future studies could use additional data collection methods such as surveys or focus groups, as we discussed earlier, to provide a more comprehensive understanding of the views of travel agency executives regarding information security. Using multiple data collection methods would also increase the validity and reliability of the findings. Therefore, these steps could help to overcome the key gaps identified in this paper and provide a more comprehensive understanding of the challenges and gaps related to the information security in the travel agency industry. So, the protection of information has become an obligation as the threats have been increasing, and failure to provide security can lead to various information security problems. Hence, it is necessary to take the appropriate measures to protect information and treated consciously. So let's start with the research method, which is the third topic of this presentation. So document or this research paper discusses the research method used in a study on information security in the travel industry. So the study utilized qualitative research methods, specifically specifically in observation and interview to understand the social phenomenon of information security in the travel and tourism industry. So the purpose of the research was to reveal the views of the individuals working as executives in travel agencies in Kusadasi regarding information security. So the qualitative research methods are aimed at catching and understanding the relativity and mobility of social phenomena. So observation and interview are two of the most common qualitative research methods used to reveal the social structure and processes constituting these perspectives. The most remarkable advantages of these methods are that they allow the subject of the research to be seen from related people's perspectives and to reveal the social structure and processes constituting these perspectives. So, in qualitative research, the time, energy, the organization, and money required to collect the data of the interviews and observations necessitate keeping the sample limited. Furthermore, the intensity and abundance of the data obtained through observations and interviews play an important role in this selection process. So, it is a common practice in qualitative research to transcribe an interview which lasts for half an hour to a few hours and obtain meaningful themes from the transcribed interview text or data regarding the research problem. Therefore, the sample size in qualitative research cannot reach the sample size in quantitative research most of the time. So, the interview is one of the main data collection tools in qualitative research and is one of the most frequently used research methods in social sciences. Second, the interviews can be classified as structured or semi structured or unstructured interviews. The structured interviews are the interviews formed of a predetermined set of standardized questions. Unstructured interviews are conducted to reveal the existing information on a general field and do not involve a predetermined set of questions. Whereas semi structured interviews have a roadmap in general, but they seek to reveal the different dimensions of the subject by asking different questions within this general framework according to the interest and knowledge of the respondent. So the interviews were conducted in this research were face to face and lasted nearly 50 minutes to an hour. The study used purposeful sampling method to select the sample and an open-ended question form was used to collect the data. So data obtained from the responses were analyzed using computer-aided content analysis, which involved data coding, finding the themes, organizing the codes and themes, and identifying and interpreting the findings. So the research questions prepared in this study were shaped according to phenomenology design. This was one of the qualitative research designs. So the main purpose in phenomenology studies is to focus. Okay, so the aim is to focus on the phenomenon that is recognized but it is not known with a deeper and detailed understanding. So the data source of the research was composed of the individuals who had experienced the phenomenon that the research focused on and who could reflect the phenomenon. For this reason, the population of the research was composed of the individuals in the managerial positions of the travel agency. So, even though this research method says that the quantity of the participants need to be restricted, but the sample size is way too small. Just 12 is not enough. So that's why in our literature review, one of the gaps mentioned was the sample size. So proceeding further with our presentation, we come on to the purpose, which has been summarized in these few points, which come under the research methods. The purpose of the paper can be summarized in these following points. first point says that it highlights the importance of effective policies regarding security in the digital age. So, and second point says that it is used the purpose is to investigate the views of travel agency executives in Kusalasi regarding information security. Third, to identify the measures taken to travel agency executives to ensure information. Fourth, suggestion of the need for raising awareness about information security, providing training for information technology users, and increasing academic studies on the subject. Other purposes also include like suggestion that future studies should focus on the effects of information sharing in the field of tourism and should include the base level employees' views on the issue as well. This emphasis on the human factor in the activating these technologies and the need for awareness training and all these academic studies to address the challenges have been given. It stresses the importance of taking necessary measures to protect information and treat it consciously. Subsequently, the purpose of the document is to provide insight into the research method used in the study to highlight the importance of qualitative research methods and understanding the social phenomena. So the paper highlights the need for deeper and detailed understanding of information security in the travel industry and the importance of obtaining meaningful themes from the data collected through observations and interviews. So the paper also highlights the limitations of qualitative research methods, such as constraints of time and financial resources, and the need to keep the sample size limited. So finally, we come to the last topic, result and conclusions of this presentation and of this research paper. So starting off, the research collected data through open-ended questions and used computer-aided content analysis to analyze the responses. The population of the research was composed of individuals in managerial positions of travel agencies, and purposeful sampling was used to reach 12 travel agency owners or executives. So the findings revealed that the demographic characteristics of the participants and their views on negative developments regarding information security. So the study was completed according to qualitative research design, and observation and interview were used as data collection tools. As you can see on the screen here, there were the demographic characteristics that were obtained as results. So the first demographic is based on the age. So for the ages below or equal to 30, there were 3 executives, which constituted the 25% of the participants. Then between the ages 31 to 35, there were 5 participants, therefore 41.67%. Between the ages 36 and 40, there were 3 participants, thus 25%. And then between the ages 46 and 50, there was only 1 participant, thus constituting 8.33% of the total demographic. Then the demographic based on gender was equal in ratio, 6 were women executives, 6 were male or male executives, so 50%, 50%. Then the demographic in education. So the executives who had completed high school education were 3. So that constituted like 25%. University graduates were 8, which constituted 66.67%. And postgraduate was only 1 executive who constituted 8.33%. Then the other demographic was based on degree. So 9 out of the 12 executives had a degree in tourism. So they constituted the 75%, whereas 3 people or 3 participants or the 3 executives had no degree in tourism, and they constituted the other 25%. And finally, the demographic based on experience. So the employees or the executives who had experience between the years 1 to 5 was only 1. Then 6 to 10 years of experience, there were 3 executives, which constituted 25%. And more than 10 years experience, there were 8 executives, and they constituted the 66.67%. So now let's look at a few questions which were formed in the interview and the results which was obtained by interviewing all these participants face to face. The first question reads that, do you have any information regarding information security? So all the 12 of them said yes, they do. So the percentage was 100. The second question that they asked were that whether the executives have taken institutional measures for information security. So 11 out of 12 said that yes, they have. So the methods that they implemented were digital signatures, antivirus trainings, institutional identity, firewall, encoding action, electronic approval, as well as cloud disk. Only one had said no, they hadn't. Other few questions include whether the executives have information about ISO 27001 standard. So this ISO 27001 standard is an international standard for information security. So it sets out the specification for an effective ISMS or Information Security Management System. So the ISO 27001's best practice approach helps organizations manage their information security by addressing people, processes, as well as technology. So six of them said yes, they did. So apart from this, there are also some other data systems, and they will also contribute or they would use later. And the other six said that no, they didn't. So half of them followed those standards, half of them didn't. And another example of the questions asked were the views of the executives about the developments in terms of information security. So all 12 of them said they have negative thoughts. So they've got negative concerns about the security of the data, like data theft and the misuse. So, if that information is not secure, passwords should be renewed continuously, and technical infrastructure is also important. So, the strong programs are required, legal measures are required. So, for the threats which are coming with the ever-evolving technology, so it necessitates the user trainings, the information obtained for many years should be preserved. So, on this view, all 12 of the participants had given their approval. They all agreed to this view. So let's move on to the conclusion of this research paper. So, in conclusion, this paper emphasizes the importance of information security in the travel and tourism industry, where travel enterprises increase their efficiency and productivity through information technologies. So, the document or this paper highlights the challenges and gaps in information security in the digital age and the need for effective management of communication through information technologies. The document also discusses the research method used in a study on information security in travel and tourism industry, which utilized qualitative research methods, specifically observation and interview, to understand the social phenomenon of information security in the travel industry. So the findings of this study revealed that travel agencies are only trying to protect the security of their information by implementing simple methods regarding information security. The study also revealed that only a small number of individuals know the presence of a world standard information security system, and due to the strength of this system, the protection of the information of travel and tourism agencies will be made in a healthier way if a good promotion is made. So, the paper suggests that future studies should be conducted with customers primarily to see the effects of information sharing in the field of tourism. In addition, it would be helpful to have knowledge about certain subjects in further studies to be conducted using quantitative methods. The studies also suggest that future research should focus on the effects of information sharing in the field of tourism and the views of low level employees as well on information security. And the other suggestions also include that quantitative research could be used to gain further knowledge about the certain subjects. Because the findings indicate that travel agencies are implementing simple methods regarding information security and that customers' trust could be increased through training and promotion of world standard information security systems. The study highlights the importance of effective policies regarding security and the widespread use of information technologies. So, this paper concludes that the enterprises should inform their stakeholders by taking the necessary measures in such fields as software, hardware, and management, and treat information very preciously, very consciously. So, as it can be understood from this research, travel agencies they try to protect the security of their information by implementing simple methods regarding the information security. So together with the trainings to be carried out under the leadership of the association of all these Turkish travel agency, it can be revealed as an undeniable fact that the information security of the sector will be learned more quickly and customers trust will be increased. So with this we come to the end of our presentation. Thank you so much.